A tough economy and a high unemployment rate is making for a competitive job market. So how do you cut through all the competition and land your dream job? 22 News is working for you with some helpful hints that can make your job search a success. Jill Grindle from A Step Ahead Resume is here to help you make the most of that little piece of paper that can separate you from the rest and get yourself on the payroll. Thank you, Jill, for joining us here today.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
What are some common mistakes that people make on their resume, would you say?
I would say one of the most common mistakes that people make is that they don't keep in mind that their resume is a marketing tool. Most of the resumes that I see they're very responsibilities driven. They don't focus on a person's unique value, and that's what an employer really wants to know. They want to know how a given candidate is going to step into a job and make a positive contribution. They're not so concerned about details on job duties.
How often should you be updating your resume?
I would say people should update it a couple times a year. Probably one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they wait until they're on the verge of losing their job or they've lost their job, and now they're looking at potentially updating an old document. And of course, once somebody has lost their job, that's probably not the greatest time to be working on it.
Probably also just mentally, because you're sort of down and out on yourself,
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
What sort of words do you suggest, adjectives, that sort of thing, to be using within that resume? Like implemented or, you
always want to use action verbs whenever possible. And what I say to people is, write your resume in such a way that it's going to resonate with an employer. Use powerful action verbs. Definitely use strong adjectives that would pertain for to a given position. So, for example, a sales representative, you want to see somebody who's very results oriented, somebody who's very energetic, somebody who's really going to go out there and get the business. Another thing that's very important are keywords, and what those basically are industry buzzwords. What would resonate with a given employer, let's say in web marketing? Could be terms like search engine optimization, keyword strategies, words like that.
Okay. And what are there a few just generic pointers that you tell everybody to sort of do within their resume that you haven't mentioned already?
I think one of the things that I would suggest to people is definitely start out their resume with an introduction of some sort, whether it's a brief objective statement, which is something I would recommend to new graduates just trying to get their foot in the door, or for established professionals using something like a profile.
Can you give us an example of an objective? Let's say I'm a senior in college and I'm graduating.
Absolutely.
What sort of a line would you use?
You could say something like, say for example, it's a marketing person. Objective statement would be seeking an entry-level position in marketing where I can apply my newly acquired skills and education.
Okay.
Now, a profile, on the other hand, somebody who's been out in the workforce for a little while, who has some experience, what they really want to do is they want to show the employer the position that they're looking for and the qualifications that they have. And also, if that profile or that intro summary is well written, it's going to go a step further and it's going to show the employer the unique value that this candidate has over everybody else who may have similar years of experience or educational credentials.
Jill Grindle from A Step Ahead Resume, thank you very much for joining us. And if you'd like some help from Jill, visit our website at wwlp.com. We'll be right back.